Often, I hear people say things like, when I have money, I'll be successful. When I lose weight, I'll be happy. But to me, that translates into a lack of self-respect and self-importance. You're waiting for an external factor to come and help you feel better about yourself internally, and that's not the route to abundance. In order to gain abundance, you have to feel worthy of abundance, and that starts with your self-respect. Self-respect isn't something you're just born with, it's something you build. Building self-respect isn't about having it all together, it's about starting where you are. So I'm going to run through some steps to help you build self-respect even when you feel uncertain. Number 1, stop compromising on your standards. The first step to building self-respect is setting and honoring your standards. That means you don't let people treat you less than you deserve, and you don't treat yourself as anything less than worthy of respect. Start by identifying what your non-negotiables are in life. These are the values that you won't compromise on, whether it's your time, your energy, or your personal boundaries. When you lower your standards, you're telling yourself and others that you don't deserve better. If something doesn't align with your values, stop saying yes out of obligation. You have to have a sense of self-importance. And I'm not saying start looking down on people or become big-headed, but what I am saying is that you have to have standards that align with who you want to be and to reject and look down on anything that doesn't match those standards. That is compulsory. Number 2, get comfortable with accountability. Building self-respect requires a radical shift in how you hold yourself accountable. Most of us are conditioned to look outside ourselves for validation or approval, but real self-respect comes when you're accountable to yourself. It's about owning your choices, even the ones that you regret. Every time you choose to show up for yourself, even when no one's watching, in fact, especially when no one is watching, you reinforce the respect that you deserve. Start by identifying the areas where you've been letting yourself slide, whether it's procrastination, avoiding tough conversations, or not following through on promises to yourself. I want you to take one action today to correct that. That will build a foundation of self-respect that no one can take away from you. Number 3, practice self-compassion, not self-pity. The way you speak to yourself matters. If you're constantly tearing yourself down, you can't build any kind of respect for who you are. Self-respect isn't about being perfect, it's about treating yourself with compassion. When you mess up, instead of jumping to self-criticism, ask yourself, what's the lesson here? How can I grow from this? Being kind to yourself when you're struggling is a form of respect, and it is crucial for confidence, even if you don't feel it straight away. Practice positive self-talk and treat yourself like you would treat a friend that's going through a hard time. You have to know in your heart that you are a human being. So strive for the best at all times, but also give yourself grace. Number 4, make yourself a priority. This one is huge. So often we put ourselves last, thinking that we'll get to it later. Building self-respect requires you to consistently make yourself a priority, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And this doesn't mean neglecting responsibilities or other people, but it means actively creating space for you in your life. And the key word to remember here is that this is your life. This could be scheduling time for self-care, focusing on your health, or just making sure you're taking care of your emotional needs. So now I'm going to tell you like somebody should have told me. When you show up for yourself, you teach others how to treat you. And most importantly, you teach yourself that you're worthy of the time and energy you give others. Number 5, set boundaries and stick to them. A key part of building self-respect is setting and respecting boundaries with others and with yourself. When you establish boundaries, you're saying, I respect myself enough to know what I will and won't accept. If you're a people pleaser, ask yourself, if I say no to this person, what are they going to do? What are they actually going to do?
What do you want, Sam? Huh? You want some? If you want some, I'll give it you. You want to do it, mate?
You will be okay and they will live. To drive this home, there's a really powerful idea from Sherry Argov's book, Why Men Love. In the book, she talks about how your terms and conditions, meaning your boundaries, show people how you expect to be treated. She says, whether you have terms and conditions indicates whether you have options. Almost immediately, you present yourself as a doormat or a dream girl. Basically, if you don't have boundaries, you're telling the world you're easy to walk over. But when you set clear boundaries, you immediately start presenting yourself as someone who's got options, someone who knows their worth. Of course, the premise of the book is aimed at relationships, but that's what self-respect is essentially all about. The more you stick with your boundaries, the more you'll start respecting yourself, and so will others. Building self-respect doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't require immediate confidence. It starts with small, consistent actions that align with the value you place on yourself. yourself. Respect is earned, starting with how you treat yourself. If you follow these steps, you'll begin to build a stronger foundation of self-respect, and from there, the confidence will come naturally. I would like to say thank you for joining me today in this video. If you enjoyed it and want to see more content like this, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.